Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to the daily 2025 ProcureTech Cup update show. I am coming to you from the sun today. No, not really. I'm at a client site, so the digs are a bit different than usual, but much more yellow. We're very happy to have you here. I'm going to bring in my co-host, Sheena Smith. How's it going?
I mean, you're looking really tan. You're
Yeah.
like,
Well, I thought it was time for some, what's it called? Luminotherapy? Is that?
yeah. No, I have the sad lamp. Like I have the full-on lamp that I put on my desk, and you have to wear sunscreen. It's nice. I use it all winter
Yes.
long.
So I'm
And
on my,
there's
I'm
our
on my,
final two. Final
yeah.
two.
Yep, it's the finals. We're finally here. I don't know about you, but I'm glad it's finally here.
Yeah, I bet everyone else is too.
Yep. So it's been a long, hard road. Lots of bumps and surprises along the way, though. And we've got one last surprise for you, which we actually dug up Tanya Wade from LinkedIn.
Hey, I'm dug up.
Thanks for joining us, Tanya. So for folks who are watching the show who don't know Tanya, she does a great job at creating procurement specific content on LinkedIn, and I love what she does, and we've become friends, and
Yeah.
well, I think so. Anyways, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'd have to ask her.
Yeah, don't even question it.
And so we thought we'd bring her on the show to do some last minute analysis here as we fold into, or we fall into, I should say, the championship match. So just a reminder on the agenda here, we'll do a quick calendar update. We'll get Sheena and Tanya's analysis of the results for the Final Four, which were turned around really quickly this morning. I know in the last stretches there, it was very, very close in one of the matchups. We'll talk about the championship matchup, and then coming up tomorrow, we'll have the announcement on this very show at same time, same place of your 2025 ProcureTech Cup champions. So just one last reminder, download the ProcureTech Cup Almanac if you haven't already. So all the companies that were in the tournament, the 64 of them, we have company details, solution categories, where they're headquartered, demo links if they provided one, and much, much more. You just go to store.pureprocurement.ca. It is free to download, and you'll be able to get your hands on what I think is a very cool market research asset. That being said, calendar update. We said it at the outset here, right? We're in the championship round. Everything else has been done and dusted, and we'll quickly get to an outcome for the tournament and the event here. So as we fall into the results of the Final Four, I'll do it again. I'll do it today just because I'm feeling like it's a countdown day. Here's what happened in the Final Four.
Ooh, really interesting.
Yeah, so it was
there between Crown and Fair Market. It's like the real tournament.
But then the opposite is true, right? Like
I actually sent both the teams. I sent them a message at 7 a.m. like 1 hour before close time, and said like, "You're virtually tied, guys. Like, this is gonna come down to the last hour." And Crown was able to squeeze it out there. And so, Tanya, as our guest analyst today, what do you see? What surprised you most about this last round, and even the tournament overall, if you want to comment it?
So both of them are the opposite, right? So trusted supplier, literally like, blew them out of the water. Is that the right expression? Which is incredible in terms of votes, how many people voted for them. Whereas, as Sheena said, and the other one is like so close. Mm-hmm. It just makes you think about the size of the companies where that actually matches up. But I know that in the case of Crown and Fair Market, it's not. So, interesting how much support this company's got.
Yeah, and I know like having some chats behind the scenes as well. Like I know Crown and the team there, I think they're 8 or something like that, but they really they really put a lot of effort into this. So much so that
respect.
Yeah, and then like reaching out to essentially everybody they know that has a LinkedIn account. And then trust your supplier. I know they have they have a parent company. And the CEO has been really involved in terms of getting out the vote from their team. They've got a large presence in India as well. So yeah, I think that explains that result. And so yeah, Fair Market's a Pure Procurement newsletter partner, so I was kind of crushed to not see them go through. But
I tell you what, this is a great story for anyone that was ever thinking about not participating in case they were lost because they weren't big enough. It really isn't about how big your company is, how popular, how well known. Is about the support that you get ultimately. So
that's a great point, Tanya. And like Sheena, I'd throw it over to you. Like, do you have any additional commentary you'd want to add here?
I was just thinking about how all four of these companies are all four different countries, right? And so we got a real true global presence this year in the ProcureTech Cup. And that was really great to see that there's innovation globally in procurement. I remember even just 5-6 years ago, it was very, very pronounced on what regions of the world were much more mature than other regions across different areas, right? And so it's cool to see that kind of evening out of aptitude. And then Tanya, you made a really interesting point before we went live, kind of just around the types of companies that were in here. Do you want to expand on that?
Yeah, that they're mostly upstream rather than downstream. I read something somewhere recently that there is more ROI in upstream companies than there is in downstream. Don't ask me why. So I wonder whether that's got to do with it. And also another interesting point is that most of them are introducing either AI or blockchain in the tools, like is the standard now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, yeah, it's fun to see, right? Because you also asked me a question offline, the first time coming on the show around, like, did any of the big companies come out to play? And while I had some discussions with them, they didn't necessarily have their ducks in a row to be able to participate this year. So I'm hoping next year as we see, the big suite players, like the 1,000+ people companies. But this year we didn't have any companies in the tournament that had more than 1,000 employees. So it speaks as well to what you're seeing in terms of the results, of the types of firms that we're playing this year.
Yeah, it'd definitely be interesting when there are bigger companies participating and there's more disparity between them, like who's going to get to the top eventually. So support the underdog is why I say support the underdog.
That's right. And your point on Crown that you made at the beginning was interesting one, because I struggled a lot when writing the rules for this year. Like, do we put a weighting factor based on company size, like how many employees were there? And I ultimately opted not to do that, because I kind of had a feeling that you could get a good performance even if you were a small brand, depending on how you approach the tournament, right? And I think like this has confirmed that. So I'm happy I didn't do that, because it could have had like a completely different result, right? Or skewed the results in a way that we didn't want them to be, or that would have seemed unfair. So yeah,
I think you made the right decision. I agree with what you did.
Agree, same.
And so we've got just our want to focus a bit on the two folks that are exiting the tournament here from the Elite Eight. So Veneering, I had initially classified them, I think it was like source to contract, and Natalia from Veneering reached out and said, hey, no, put us in intake and orchestration. Yeah. Eventually she said, like, we've been doing intake and orchestration since before it was cool. So it's interesting to see, right? Founded in 2007, maybe not built the same way, or communicated, or the value proposition might be a bit different than the newer intake and orchestration providers out there. But I'm definitely going to be looking into this solution going forward, because as she said yesterday, they were really focused on just Germany, and now they're opening their horizons to other countries and going worldwide. So check out the demo there. And then Fair Market, Kevin Frechette and the team over there, headquartered out of Boston, just lovely people. As I mentioned, they're a Pure Procurement newsletter partner. So I love what they're doing, how they're thinking about agentic AI and expanding their solution to source everything, right? So they started out with till spend, and now are building the tool out to be able to source all categories, all types of spend. So definitely check them out as well if you're looking at building out your sourcing capabilities.
It's like the tariff war ended to them.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
The tariff war, Germany and US.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
everywhere and US.
That's the thing with a good never let a good crisis go to waste, right? So like COVID was, my grandma now knew what supply chain was, right? And so like I think with this, the dynamic with the tariffs and the trade war, will also bring a focus to the power of procurement and ProcureTech. So great point, Tanya, highlighting that. And then today's matchups, just to wrap up here. So we've got Trust Your Supplier and Crown. The matchups going on right now on my profile. So if you want to have your say, in who this year's ProcureTech Cup winner is, champion is, go have a vote, right? If you participated in a previous round, if you're from a brand that was eliminated, we still want to hear your voice this year. So make sure you go do that. It's the last voting period for 2025. You'll have to wait until next year to comment on my post random supplier names, at least from the perspective of people who don't know what ProcureTech is. And so, yeah, make sure you go do that. And so, yeah, I don't know if there's anything else to say, guys.
Can I vote?
Yeah, absolutely. You
can. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody can vote. It's open for everybody.
Yep.
We're trying to find LinkedIn's favorite ProcureTech solution, and I mean, you're a good portion of procurement LinkedIn. So
I still don't know who I'm going to vote for, though.
So Sheena and myself both also in the source to pay consulting space. So if you're looking for advisory work, either on the design, build, or operate portions of your procurement department, structuring new operating models, leveraging technology to its fullest potential for your business processes, you know where to find us on LinkedIn. And again, Tanya Wade, who's a great procurement content creator on LinkedIn, and I appreciate her stuff a lot. So if you like what I put out, go check out what she puts out as well. And thanks again for joining us today, Sheena, Tanya. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sheena, we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
I think